Hola, buen dia. Settling Adish here. This is the Weekend Feels Energy Report from Madeira with Love. Once again, I'm back with your energetic astrological weather report for this very crazy, wild week. Once again, we're in a very potent moment in time. There is so much happening in the stars and so much happening in the world around us. We have just entered our autumnal season in the northern hemisphere, of course, spring in the southern hemisphere, and we received the equinox, a day, equal night, on Tuesday, the 22nd. And this is the start of Libra season. Libra season is right on time. We need a bit of Libra energy right now. Libra season. Libra is air, cardinal air, instigating air energy, okay? Ruled by Venus. So Libra energy wants us to beautify ourselves, our relationships. Libra is the sign of us relating, wanting to connect with people and wanting everyone to be okay, wanting justice to be served, wanting everything to be fair, harmonized, balanced, okay? Making the scales in balance. Libra is constantly seeking balance. However, Libra is not always in balance, and in her search for balance can get confused. Libra's very mental. There's a lot of air, is very mental sign, so can get very stimulated. Our mentals can get very stimulated, okay? Especially since Mercury is in Libra, but Mercury is in the last days of Libra, moving into Scorpio. So we are beginning to enter a phase where we're moving from Libra into Scorpio, okay? So where to begin? There's just so much happening. Okay, so Mercury is in Libra, and Mercury has just entered shadow. So what this means when a planet enters its shadow period, it means that soon enough, I believe it's October 13th, Mercury will go retrograde. This is the famous retrograde that everybody fears, even though it happens 3 times a year. But it does cause some noticeable things, and this one will definitely be causing something. Mercury being the planet of communication, technologies, and travel, okay? So when a planet enters its shadow, it means it's touching the point in the chart that when the planet begins its retrograde, let's say it's here, it will move back to this point. So this is 25 degrees Libra. So that means the issues around communications, travel, technology that are starting now will expose what you will be working with this Mercury retrograde season. And this Mercury retrograde will be in part 5 degrees in Libra and then until about 11 degrees Scorpio, okay? So this retrograde, we are going to be going in deep. Okay, Scorpio is the deep, penetrating, fixed water sign that wants to get in there and transform, wants to encourage the birth, transformation, death cycle, okay? So one thing I want to just say is that this week we are having a pretty intense T-square aspect, okay, which means there are 2 planets opposition, and then another one is squaring, okay? So it has to do, oppositions and squares are hard aspects, okay, which is challenging. So we're really being challenged in our cardinal aspects of life, especially Libra, Capricorn, and Aries, okay? Because this week, this T-square we had was Mercury in Libra, oppose Mars in Aries retrograde, and square to Capricorn, Saturn and Capricorn, okay? Pretty exact. So this is really a challenge to these aspects of life. This is like transformation is full on underway in these aspects of in our lives. However, it can be challenging, hard, especially with Saturn, who is about to station direct next week, which means Saturn is very slow, which means Saturn's power is very strong. And Saturn is the taskmaster, Saturn is the limitation, Saturn is the blocks. So there could be some challenges in our lives, in our cardinal aspects of lives, okay? It is a challenge for us now to find our joy, to find our balance, to find our bliss, to find our passion. We're being challenged, deeply challenged to find ourselves, find our joys amidst this complete chaos that is just ensuing, happening all over the planet right now. We are in massive transformational moment. Obviously, all of us are aware of that, but it is not necessarily comfortable, and we are really meeting a culmination point. We've just finished this crazy wild summer. This summer has been so wild, so much has happened, so much has been revealed, and we could be quite exhausted. We could be quite tired from all that we've been through in our relationships, in our relationship to money, a lot of relationship dynamics, our jobs, ourselves. Where have we been deluding ourselves? We're beginning to get more and more clarity about what these lessons have been during these summer months. And this has been such a heavy, fiery, intense summer in so many ways. So coming into this moment is giving us some kind of a rest, although we're still being challenged, okay? So, guys, this is historical astrology, okay? All the best astrologers are talking about how this is historical. Like, this is super intense because we are in the biggest transformation in the history of humanity. So for all of us living now, for all of us choosing to be here in this physical reality, this world we're inhabiting, we are part of this process of transformation. So each one of us needs to be responsible for our part in that transformation. And if you are conscious of this happening, then you know that it's a real time of going within. This is such an important part of this very challenging astrology and this very challenging year. It's become so clear. We really need to get to our source. We need to go within. We need to work with ourselves. We need to work with fusing the dualities. We need to integrate the wounds. We are doing some massive healing being a return to wholeness. We are already whole. It's just we've been under the illusion, the delusion of old stories. And now we are transforming ourselves into a higher version of ourselves, into what we are meant to experience on this earth. The end of an era is underway, and we are no longer here just to suffer, to work, to birth, and to die. We are here for so much more. We are here to experience life. We are here to experience joy. We are here to create. We are creating the future right now. So every moment that you're spending on your expanding consciousness is evolving our humanity, okay? Because we are birthing together a new paradigm, and it is very confusing at times, very challenging, but that's what we're doing. On a bigger scope, that's what we are all doing together, okay? And all of our Capricorn Aries of life are under a total reconstruction, total repair. We are rebuilding the system. We are rebuilding our ways of disciplining, of working on structuring. Laws, rules, regulations, beliefs are all under reconstruction. We are rebuilding our world, one individual at a time, okay? And it's so important for us to do this. I want work, but it's not just work. It's just it's what is. What we're doing here is becoming conscious. That's what we're doing, right? So we need to be gentle with ourselves, patient, cautious, because there's so much happening. It's hella intense, okay? We've had this week Mercury opposite Mars, which means potentially our communications have been passionate, fiery. There's a whole lot going on in our cardinal. So all of us in our Capricorn, Aries, Libra aspects of life are being transformed, transmuted. So you can look on your chart and see where that is to see what you are specifically working with, okay? So this weekend, today especially, it's Friday, we have the 3 heavyweights in Capricorn under big reconstruction. We have the moon will be lining up with all 3 of the heavyweights. So the moon's in Capricorn, lining first with Jupiter, then with Pluto, then with Saturn, okay? And all of these planets are squaring Mars, okay? So, damn. That means there'll be an added emotional element of this weekend, okay? So Capricorn's being blasted, Mars is being blasted, Mars in Aries, Capricorn, all of these heavy planets, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn. This is the transformation is happening. It's intense, it's emotional. And you know what, guys? What's really coming up is power and control. Pluto is getting blasted this weekend and into next week. Pluto issues are going to be coming up. They're very present right now. Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, transformation, and the planet that rules power and control. Power and control issues are on the table. Dynamics in relationships, okay? There will be an aspect with Venus and Pluto at the end of this weekend, a quincunx, 150 degrees. Venus is in Leo, fire, and Pluto is in Capricorn, okay? And so we're getting blasted with power and control issues. So this weekend, I'm all over the place because there's so much going on, but this weekend, let's be aware of our impulsiveness inspired by Aries, the fiery, wanting to communicate, wanting to make something happen, and yet being blocked in some way. Let's just be aware of how we're communicating. Our communication may be strained. Oh my goodness. Okay, we are really having big pressure on our personal lives. Like we are being pressurized like diamonds to transform personally. This is an individual journey. We are being pushed to go within, okay, and transform. Chiron is in Aries as well, the wounded healer. And Black Moon Lilith is part of our shadow selves, our unconscious. It's a point in the sky. That's our unconscious, subconscious, underworld. Okay, Black Moon Lilith and Chiron are coming together in Aries this weekend, while Mars is in Aries, squaring all the heavyweights. Like, god dang. So there's a lot happening, but what's really with this Chiron and Aries, we're looking at the wounds to our identity, okay? We're looking at our subconscious identity, the things about our identity that we reject, that we think are wounded, and we are really in the process of healing, integrating, and bringing to whole our identity and our wounded healer, how we will use our wholeness to inspire more healing and wholeness, okay? And the wounds to our divine masculine, the wounds to our divine feminine, the wounds to our warrior, our inability to assert ourselves. So we're learning to create better boundaries. We're learning how to step into our power. This is a major moment of stepping into our power. And the energy of Pluto is really, really here right now, okay? There is so much going on in the world that is taking us away from ourselves, okay? There's so much in the media, for example, media. Okay, this new film, The Social Dilemma, has just come out. We're going to have this massive response to the social dilemma. Yes, it exists. But do we need to get super fearful, crazy, go and try to fight against people on the internet? No. What we really need to be very, very aware of is that this revolution we are undergoing is an internal revolution. It is time to go within and integrate those wounded aspects of self. It's time to evaluate our beliefs. It's time to feel and think, feel what we really believe before we're going out and believing this fake news or this trying to be skewed in certain ways. Our beliefs are all over the place. We're having a restructuring of our beliefs, and our old belief system is crumbling. And in the meantime, there is so much false information. There's so much illusion. There's so many people that are just so angry and just want to follow something, whatever it is, to fight for the justice. Here's the thing. If you are not integrated and centered within, your fight for justice will not serve you. It will not serve. It will fail at some point, because the fight for justice, the fight for peace, the fight for joy is an internal process. We, each one of us individually, needs to go within and empower ourselves and find our power, where we think for ourselves, where we do not follow what other people say. We feel it and we know if it's true or not. So this is so important. This is so powerful. Like, there will be things out there in the world that will make you think that you need to go and fight some revolution outside of yourself. The revolution is within, people. Each one of us is doing that sacred work of integrating ourselves and letting go of all that bullshit that we used to believe, so that each one of us can come more whole, unified, connected, knowing the truth, knowing our reality, and not giving our power away, not giving our power to media, not giving our power to the internet, using it as a tool, not being used by it, putting our boundaries. Big wind just passed through. So it's all about going within, people. You want to be empowered? Go within. Listen to what the hell you feel, what needs to be seen. Listen to yourself first. Then you can converse. Then you can know what you feel. Okay? So this is the revolution. Is it seems like everything's outside of ourselves. No, we want to go within. And this has to do with the North Node being in Gemini and the South Node being in Sagittarius. This weekend, the nodes are being activated, okay? And what is just very evident, we want to go to our immediate environment, our communities. We don't want to be looking outside constantly, looking to news outside, looking to other countries, seeing. No, it's really time to look within. You want to fight the revolution? Go within. You want to be a badass, humanitarian? Go within. Go within. What are your limitations? What are your addictions? What are your vices? What's holding you back from shining? Why are you putting the focus outside of yourself? Damn, this shit deep. Pluto and Saturn are very close together. So Pluto energy is here. It's digging up that stuff, that deep stuff, okay? This weekend, Venus, or the end of this weekend, Venus will quincunx Pluto 150 degrees, which means love, money, relationships, challenged. We're adjusting our relationship with all these aspects of life, okay? We're adjusting our relationship with ourselves, our vision of what beauty is, okay? Can we accept ourselves as we are? Can we stop looking outside and comparing ourselves? Can we just love what we are? Because what we are is so big. It's so much potential, and yet we only see the flaws. Let's see the beauty. This is all about reclaiming our joy, the beauty, really tapping into our center, our passion, our desires, our what we need to let go in order to thrive. Like, we are being challenged. This is karmic. Things are being let go. This is disruptive. We are being pushed and prodded because we are in the thick of our greatest transformation. It is time to choose for ourselves the way we want to move forward. It is time to go within so that we can create the future we desire. We don't know what is going to come, but the more time we spend getting to know ourselves, accepting ourselves, bringing ourselves to wholeness, the better we can be available to receive the information, to understand how we need to proceed and what we will create. We are great creators, okay? So exciting. People, this weekend I pulled such beautiful cards. It's just such a blessing. The master, okay? Each one of us is a master, but is your internal master asleep? Okay? Because when our master is asleep, we fall into victim mentality. Oh, it's outside. Oh, no. Are you choosing your mastery, or are you choosing to be a victim? Mastery is to look at yourself, is to see your role in it, and is to allow yourself to be who you are, to not try and control, to surrender. Okay? Can you surrender and allow the mastery to shine forth? Can you let your mind take a break for once? Okay? And when you are in that mastery level, you will do and act and be love, joy, bliss, art. You are a work of art. Get out of your own way. Let's remember this gorgeous energy of the Fool. Let's be like fools, open to the universe, open to receiving. Without thinking we know everything, let's swipe our mind of what we know. There's so much we don't know. Can we just be like a fool and allow whatever comes without being attached to it? This is the card of possibility, of innocence, of returning to that childlike joy, okay? Trust your heart, feel your heart, feel and proceed like a fool, trusting that you will get and receive and have. You already are everything you need, okay? Play. It's time to play. Unbelievable. The Empress, gorgeous. The divine feminine, okay? The nurturing, the Mother Nature, returning to our sensuality, to our creative expression. Nurturing. We're so tired. We need to nurture ourselves. We need to give ourselves the rest we need. We need balance, harmony, joy, pleasure, the divine feminine. We can access it no matter what our gender is. And oh, sorry. This is abundance. Abundance. Receiving abundance is recognizing that we already have what we need. Being grateful for what we have, because what we have is so much. Guys, this special guy, the devil. Yep, the devil. A lot of people are afraid of this card. This card is potent, powerful. This card makes me feel like very Pluto energy. The devil is, and Black Moon Lilith, okay? The devil is our shadow, is our attachments, is our addictions, our patterns that keep us locked in a mentality or in a place where we're repeating the same thing. We're just over and over repeating a cycle. So what is holding you back from your being in balance, okay? Again, last week I talked about addictions. I think addictions and attachments are still very much on the table. That's about Pluto, right? And Scorpio too. Scorpio has that energy of addiction and obsession, and so we're really examining those concepts and those ideas of addiction and attachment. It's like we're trying to control. It's an issue of power and control, okay? We're trying to control something. We're trying to aguantar. We're trying to, what's the word for aguantar? We're trying to cope with something in our reality. So let's examine, what are those coping mechanisms? Like, what are we doing that is taking us away from our joy, our bliss, our happiness? The devil is duality. It's fusing the two. It's wanting to control and yet be free. A lot of our addictions, what we want to feel is we want to feel good, and yet they bring us fleeting moments of bliss and don't actually address the thing at hand. It's almost like addictions and attachment. It's like a fear of losing control. So we try to control something that inevitably will go out of control. It's a very complex psychology, which most of humanity has some kind of attachment or addiction pattern. Could be anything. So, oh yeah, and also, where have you been tricked into believing you don't have power, right? What has been tricking you? There's a lot of trickster energy out there right now. So what can bring you back into balance? Such powerful energy is happening, guys. Take care of yourselves. I know this is very challenging, wild, crazy, very exciting at the same time, very stimulating. You know, people with a lot of cardinal, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, even Cancer, because it's opposed, like super challenged in the late degrees, okay? We are being pushed, prodded, processed like diamonds. Take care of yourselves. If you guys want a natal chart reading, send me a personal message. I am sending you tons of love. Fica muito bem. Boa fim de semana. Beijinhos.